Hi, how's everybody doing today? We're out here with a night session real quick. I'm still borrowing my friend's bobble Pure Drive, the 100, and this is what I'm going to be getting. I'll be using this racket. I was playing with the profile, the 95 Wilson profile, the original ones from 88, because I like the weight of them and you know, the stiffness. But this has got a pretty good the racket that I'll actually be buying will be the Tour Pro Drive. It's 11 ounces and it's got a nice feel to it, and this one's pretty nice too. This is just a little lighter. It's around 10.6 ounces and it's a wide body. So I like playing with the wide bodies, and this is 100 square inch. So is the new one I'll be buying, the Pure Drive Tour. So we're gonna practice some serves because I'm playing doubles tomorrow. So I just come out here a couple days a week and get you know, get practicing, and you know, the more you practice, and I haven't been really playing with the modern racket too much. I've been playing with the old profile. So this is the second time, well actually third time I played with it. I have another video where I posted where I was actually hitting serves with this one, and I like the way it feels. And like I said, what I'll be doing is when I get my racket, I'm gonna be stringing it with Slinko and Genesis. So I'll put the Genesis on the mains and the Slinko on the crosses, and I'll probably have it strung at 40 pounds on the mains and 36 pounds on the crosses. I just like my racket strung a little lighter. It adds, you know, to me, I get a little more feel on the ball, and I can, you know, when I'm serving, I can actually, you know, put more spin, and I can feel a little more pop on it, and it keeps you from getting tennis elbow. You know, I don't believe in, you know, if you can play, you know, when you're younger, you can play with rackets that are strung tighter. But even when I was younger, I never really had my racket strung too tight. I always strung them pretty loose. Like my profiles are actually strung in the 30s also. I gotta hit this light, so let's get through it. racket I'm using is way lighter than those profiles, so I'm adjusting to that. But you know, a lot of the serves are going in. They're hitting where I, you know, in between the two cones, and especially out here on the wall outside. Right in here, right in there, I can see the marks all over there, even off the tape. So that will definitely pull out my opponent as a right-hand player. And then when I play left-hander, I go down the middle of the game board and then I hit out wide when I play left-handers on the right-hand side, as if they, like how they play against us when they're serving out to the backhand side with the out wide serves of the left-hander and slice. And I see a lot of amateur, you know, club players like myself. I don't consider myself a tennis player yet. I consider myself a person who's playing tennis. To become a tennis player, to learn more about the game, and to become better at it by having knowledge of where the, you know, why people are doing what they're doing, have knowledge of how big the court is. And as I was saying before, from the baseline to that net is 39 feet. And then the service boxes are 21 feet in width. So you would have to go at least 39 and a half feet to get the ball over the net. So, and this net's a little high by probably 2.5 inches or more. I can tell just by the way it's looking, because the middle of the court should be lower. And as you can see on the wide, out wide, that's 3.5 feet. Should be 3.5 feet out wide, and 3 feet from the tape to the middle. So, you know, when you're using spin and slice serves, that will help you get the ball over no matter how low the net is or high it is when you're playing. But when you usually play in tournaments, the nets will be, you know, at the correct height. But as I was saying before, also these courts here, their fences are very close to the actual service box. And I was playing my friend Dave. He's a really good player, you know, solid 4-0, 4-5 doubles player. And he hits wicked slice serve. So he hit a flat serve to my forehand, and I was using a profile, and I crushed it for a winner right down the middle of the court. And then the next time he served to me, he served out wide with the slice serve. And as I was going to play for the ball, I made a play on the ball. I almost ran into the fence. So when you're playing tournaments and stuff, be aware of your surroundings and use that to your advantage. If those fences are that close, like this is ridiculous. I don't know who designed this court. I mean, it literally, from this service box to that fence, if you're playing over there, is maybe 7 to 8 feet away from the actual, even the doubles line. And I was playing over here the other day, and so like the same scenario, my friend George hit a serve out wide, and I had to play it around I made a play around the post and had to go around the post and make a play on the ball and hit it down the line. I had no other choice, you know, because like there's people playing here, and I had to run. It was a shorter slice, like a slice kick. He kicked it out wide, and the only play I could make was to hit it between those two posts and down the line there, which I made it just because I had the profile, and it's a very stiff racket, and I've been really working hard on return of serves, and return of serves is like one of my better strengths in tennis. No matter, even when I was just getting back into it, I still had a pretty decent return of serve. I make a high percentage of returns of serves, and now I'm able to actually hit with hit winners off people's serves and get some free points. But it's something I've been working on a lot, and then obviously coming out here and practicing my serve and using a proper modern tennis racket is making a difference. But this is a way lighter than my other racket, so I'm getting used to that also. But you know, we need to get more accurate. I want to be able to hit what I'm aiming at, and not just getting close to it. I want to actually hit what I'm aiming at, not 9 out of 10 times, but 10 out of 10 times. Especially when I'm playing, playing singles and stuff. Because I'm older now, so I have to shorten, the points out. I can't, I'm not going to be out here trying to exchange 20 stroke ground strokes and things of that nature. So I do set up my shots, and I have an Eastern grip. I use an Eastern grip, and I hit a ball pretty flat at times. just from old school. That's how I was taught how to play, but I haven't used a conventional, like a, continental grip in a long time. I kind of grew up just naturally holding the racket at an angle and hitting it with an Eastern grip, and I have messed around with semi-Western grips, and sometimes I do move my hand over to more of a semi-Western grip, especially when I play on the clay courts over at the Oceans, because you can get a lot of spin on the ball. But I just think that, you can definitely take more time off for your opponent to get to the ball when you're hitting flatter, harder shots. It doesn't even have to be really hard if a flat shot travels faster than one that has topspin, because when it bounces, yes, it bounces high, but the player has time to get to it sometimes. So, and then, when you're using angles, obviously you want to use topspin. Even with the Eastern grip, you want to have a topspin shot to where you can pull your opponent off the court, and you have to use the court to your advantage, and that's why we're out here practicing. And even when you're hitting off the tennis ball machine, practicing the one-hander, one-handed backhands and hitting left-handed so I can hit the ball properly. What I'm trying not to do is cross my right foot over my left foot, because I don't want to hit like this. I want to be able to go to the ball and then step in and hit clean. You don't want your right foot crossing your left foot if you're a two-handed player, because what happens is you're like this, and it's just awkward. So you want to be able to move to the ball and then step back and get through it, and make sure that your right foot is on the left side of your body when you're hitting the ball. So that's why you don't want to put your foot like this. You actually want to turn your left foot behind you like this, so you're clearing your body when you're hitting the ball. And that's why you want to practice hitting one-hitter, so when your balls come in, you come in like this, you turn and you're hitting through it. Same thing like when a two-hander, the ball comes, you practice stepping back, because you don't want to cross your foot like this where you're like standing, with your back. It's awkward. You see what I mean? See the difference between this and this, where you're actually hitting through it? It's a big difference. You can tell. All you gotta do is pick your racket up and do it at home or whatever. You see what I'm talking about? It's something I learned a long time ago, and that's where footwork comes in, because you'll run to the ball, and then the ball will be here, and then you'll take that extra step to hit it. And what you're doing when the other foot comes around like that, you're like this instead of like that, where you're driving through the ball and bringing your left foot around. You want to use your hips and your lower body. And I just watched Sinner and Alcaraz match. Yeah, Alcaraz destroyed Sinner. I knew that was going to happen. Everybody's picking Sinner to win. He hadn't played a lot of tournaments, and Alcaraz has been playing a lot, so I didn't expect him to lose 6-0, but I did expect him to lose 6-2. I thought he was going to lose straight sets 2-2. The first set was he played really well and lost in a tiebreaker, but the second set, Alcaraz was just getting warmed up with him, and he's got a lot of improvement. He's got to get in match shape and use different tactics against that dude, at least on the clay court. So yeah, we're gonna get the rest of these balls. I'm gonna hit some over here because I want to see about my racket drop and see what I'm doing. And I'm starting to use my legs more. It was really difficult for me to bend my legs because of this knee injury, but I've been working on it, bending my knees more and using my body more to hit my serves. I'm not a tall guy, so I use my legs more than taller to get the ball correctly. It's hotter than 80 out there, folks. I'm out here in Florida, and it's almost 9 o'clock at night. It's into the 90s. My shirt's soaking wet, as you can see. Yeah, it's 10 till 9 right now on the East Coast, and I'm out here in Fort Ord, Florida, and it's like probably 87, 88 degrees right now. And where I work at, their air conditioning's been out for 2 weeks, and I do retail, so it's like working, in a freaking warehouse. It's so damn hot in that place. Hopefully they get it sorted out before I have to do more tomorrow. But I come out here, been practicing to try, you know, especially if I'm not going in, I'm just out here having fun. I try different things. But I want to try, I want to fill my racket drop. That you're not so good at, along with the things you're good at. Like, I have a pretty solid forehand when I'm playing. I've developed a pretty good weapon in that, but my backhand has been very inconsistent at times because of what I was just saying. Poor footwork, you're crossing yourself up is what I used to call it when I coached. When you cross yourself up, that makes it to where you're not hitting as clean of a shot as you possibly can. And it makes it very difficult for you to adapt. But like I said, practicing pointing in your backhand, you know, is good. And holding that continental grip on that backhand or that backhand grip is a big difference. Because when you put the other hand on there, even though this ball's going into the damn net, it's very good when you top it. When you put the other hand on there, you'll be able to, work both hands together. And I'm playing with some pretty flat balls. I don't make excuses. I'm the one above them out here, but I use these balls after I hit off the ball machine and put them in my basket. And then as I start playing with them, I'll know which ones I can actually play with. You can see the difference when you're stepping into the ball. Even practicing hitting left-handed, like I was saying. I don't care what it looks like, man, when you're practicing left-handed, if you're a right-handed hitter, or a right-handed player, you're getting practice and learning how to use the body correctly. So I have an Eastern grip on this side too, on my left hand. It's just something I guess I naturally do on either side. Getting better at hitting left-handed. And then when you drop this is flat, but when you drop the ball, you can hit through it correctly. Drop feed yourself. Grip. That's why I like getting the tennis ball machine too. It helps out a lot with that. And my forehand, I'll just practice hitting. I'll try a couple more. I don't like hitting any balls into the net when I'm practicing, but I'm also understanding that I'm playing wider balls, but that's how I normally hit when I'm passing the ball, really crossing that. It takes practice, folks. Racket down like that. That's my grip right there on my serve. Kind of hold it at the bottom where there's like a natural thing in your hand, your palm, to give you like a half an inch length on it, ball toss. You don't have to. You don't have to hit the ball. Don't hit it. The fastest part of the game is the serve. Even when you slow it down, you can see where I'm dropping my racket back like this, but when you slow it down, people are like, oh, you have a waiter serve. No, actually, I'm swinging my racket so fast and the drop is so quick on the serve that you only get like 100th of a second of what I'm actually doing. That's why I have to slow it down. Everybody's like that though. But I like the way it felt. Practice. You know what? Laying on that foot right here. I practice. So I'm working on bending my leg more. It's hard because I got this meniscus tear in my, an ACL tear in my knees. It's healing. I've been using the mustard seed, grind up mustard seed. It helps with inflammation and other things. That's what pain and things of that nature. I try to do things, naturally. Since I was poisoned by my medicine I was taking. I was taking gabapentin, and my gabapentin levels were so high, I was literally poisoned from it. So it took me a month to get better and to get all that poison out of my body. And I've been taking mustard seed and drinking shit tons of water and sweating all that shit out of me. So you gotta really know what you're feeling. Watch what you're putting in your body, folks. The doctors are trying to help you. They're not pharmacists, so they don't realize some of this medicine that they give you can have some really bad side effects. People will walk their dogs and get the ball from the dog. That makes me want to stay. try to hit these cones with these last ones. are going in the way I want them to, really. Gotta get my shoulder better. My toss is a little erratic, and I've been working on different ways of holding the ball on the release too. Let me get this label. I like this racket a lot, and as I'm gonna do my friend a favor, and I'm gonna get it restrung for him, and I'll talk to him about it. But I'll put some Solenko G in here. This is some head Slenix or whatever it's called. It's not very good string. It might be good like when you first start playing with it, but this ball, I can tell that it's not really gripping the ball that much, and I can actually see some knots coming into the strings. And I don't hit half as hard as I used to hit when I was younger on my serve. I mean, I'm not even bending my legs as much as, it's something I need to work on, my flexibility. But I've had 2 hip replacements, and I got spinal stenosis and radiolopathy in my back and my neck. So I'm not complaining. Hey man, 2 years ago I was 240 pounds or whatever. So we're down to 175, around 175, 170, and my ideal weight, playing weight, is around 155, 160. So, this summer it's going to be a hot one, and I've changed my lifestyle as far as food and stuff like that. And I never been, like, I don't drink alcohol too often. When I was growing up, I worked in the kitchens as a chef and a sous chef, and worked in restaurants, and I used to get free drinks after shifts, and we used to, to knock them back because it's a hard job. But it also, alcohol is not good for you. As I've gotten older, I realized that, and I've seen a lot of my friends become alcoholics. So I have never been a fan of alcohol at all. So I've pretty much stayed away from that my whole entire life, especially as I've gotten older. But once in a while, it's all right to have a beer with your food or something. Just be responsible. I personally, like I say, maybe you can count on my hand how many times I've had drinks in the last 10 years or whatever. Even during like this year, I got my in-laws bought me a bottle of Woodward, probably 20-year aged bourbon, and during New Year's I broke it open for my friend, and we had a couple sips off of it. But I got like ice in it, filled it up, and it lasted me all night. It's strong too. So anyway, yeah, I like this racket. I like the Tour. It's heavier. This is a little lighter than the Profiles, a lot lighter actually. The Profile is around 355 grams, and the stiffness is probably around 82, 84, around there. And it's a smaller racket. This is 100 square inches, and the Profiles are 95. But I like this racket a lot. It's something I think that I can get better by using this racket. When I get the Tour, it'll be a little heavier, so I'll be able to, really get more accuracy on my serve and get more spin. And using new tennis balls too make a difference. But what these balls are is I use them in my, first I get brand new tennis balls, I put them in my ball machine, and then I hit off of them, and then as they start to get a little bit some wear and tear on them, I'll put them in the baskets and use them for serves. And then when they get to the point where they won't bounce, or they're just messed up, I'll hit them over there. And then around the corner there's a park with all the dogs, so people bring their dogs, so I'll just take a bunch of them, like a box of them, and leave them there for the people, so that they can have them for their animals or whatever. Because I got 2 cats, and my one cat likes to play with pens and stuff, so that's why we call her pens. She'll steal a pen off your table. But this is I highly recommend the Pure Drives. They're nice, man. Bobblette makes a good racket, and so does so does Wilson. I've always played with a Wilson tennis racket most of my life. I like Wilson. They make their top notch. But this is right there with it, man. It's got, you know, the design on it. It's pretty cool. It's got a good balance, got a good feel. You know, they say you just get used to playing with it, man. Just you know, when you're practicing, you practice the way you want to play, and keep in mind, like I was saying, if you're using a two-handed backhand, try not to cross your feet over. Don't try not to cross your right foot over your left foot, because you're gonna hit it awkwardly. You want to use, you know, when you're pivoting for the ball, you're running for the ball, you want to swing this back leg out, because then you're automatically, you know, bent down to drive the ball, and you're in better position. And that's one thing I've been working on, is my footwork. Getting a little bit better, but there's still mad improvement. And like I say, with my shoulder, so you have a plate in my shoulder here. So I've been working on the toss. So I used to just take the ball, throw it right up in front of me, and jump into the court and hit it, you know. But now the toss is a little erratic sometimes. So that's why I've been practicing holding the ball underneath the racket. But I used to just put the ball right on the frame and just kind of throw it up and hit it that way, hit through it, and just practice holding that continental grip and getting, you know, like you're scratching your back. Because that racket drop is what gets you the power that you need to get power on your racket, on your shots. So if you practice throwing the ball up and doing that, just, you know, and things happen so fast with the serve. It's that quick, man. So, you know, and I just throw the ball high enough for me to hit it. I don't throw a big, living here in Florida, you know, it gets really windy and stuff. So it's like one of the things I always had as a you know, young guy. I never threw a toss up that high. I always just threw it up high enough for me to hit it, you know, just enough for the racket, the height of the racket, you know. And I let it as it comes down, and the more it comes down, that's when you start using like kick serves and stuff, because you're brushing the ball. You're actually letting it drop more than you would on a flat serve, so you're brushing it this way. So when you throw the ball up, it's coming down and you're brushing it that way. You're not changing your toss. You want to have the same toss as you would a slice serve. You know, if you're hitting on that side of the ball, or you're hitting this way, it's just where you're making contact with the ball, and it just takes practice. These guys on the internet make things more difficult than they need to be. Some of these people are still teaching like it's the fucking 80s and stuff. They got the hopper out there feeding balls to people, and you know, some people never even had a, you know, never played a sport in their life. So, you know, if you want to take them and just get used to the tennis ball itself. When I always trained, I used the orange and red balls and stuff, especially little kids, because these are for, like, the pens, and the yellow balls are for the players that know how to play. They're already advanced. They already know that the ball's gonna bounce really high. So you got a little kid out here and you're training them with fucking regular tennis balls that bounce so high, and that's why they're holding a Western grip, because the ball's bouncing higher than they are, so they have to swing upwards. So then when they get older, now they're stuck with a Western grip, and everything that's low is really difficult to hit for them, you know. So you want to teach them to hold an Eastern grip and use the right equipment with these folks, these kids. I see that a lot, you know. And you know, everybody has their own teaching style, but they're still teaching people to hold a continental grip on their backhand volleys and shit. That you want to hold a backhand grip on your continental grip, on your backhand volleys. You don't see these pros doing that shit. When they're hitting backhand volleys, they got a backhand grip because it's more natural, it's more fluent, it's easier to do things. And of course, you want to keep your wrist out on your forehand. That's how you're getting your power. You hold a continental grip on your forehand volley because you're using, you know, your wrist. But on the backhand, look how awkward that is. But if you hold a backhand grip, it's not awkward. You can hit it like this, and especially if you're at the net and someone's, you know, ripping a ball at you, you can defend yourself easier just by, you know, holding, getting ready, and bang. You know, it's hard to go when you're holding a continental grip to defend yourself like that, you know. If you're holding a backhand grip, it's just like when you're returning serve. If you hold your forehand grip, whatever grip it is, and the ball's coming, you hit a two-hander backhand, you're just like motorcycling it. You already got your grip for your hand, you know, for the two-hander, or even one-handed. You know, if you hold doing one-hander, you still got to turn the racket and switch it. That's the thing. You could get away with holding a continental grip on returns. You can get away with that because you're not taking a huge backswing. You're reacting to a ball. At least if you're playing people that like hit proper serves. If you're playing your grandparents and stuff that still serve the ball like this, yeah, I mean, you can time their serve with a sundial, and of course you can hold a regular forehand grip and set up for it, and and hit it correctly. But even then, throw your timing off because the ball's moving so slow. That's why sometimes you got to practice slow. That's what I was doing at the end a little bit. Even though I was hitting my serve, I was practicing just winding up and just still using the speed of the racket to come through, but just practicing bending my legs and hitting through it, holding my hand up higher, because that's another thing. I want to keep my hand up high as long as possible on the toss of the serve. That way you got, when you're following through, you're going like this. Everybody has their own style, forehands, backhands. Just develop what you're able to do to the best of your abilities. And then if there's like a little technical thing that you're doing wrong, like maybe you got to turn your hand a little bit more and get more of an Eastern, more of a backhand, one-handed backhand grip on your two-hander to hit with the fist, because you're using the back of your hand to hit that ball. And then you want that racket to come through all the way like that. So no matter how you bring it, if you drop it like that, like Serena or Venus, they drop the racket and threw it like that, or if you bring the racket back, you're still gonna have to get topspin on it, depending on how the ball is. If the ball's up here, you're still bringing it up that way, you still need topspin. And that's why a lot of players use a two-handed backhand, because on the returner serve, it's very difficult when you're playing against big servers, unless you're just chipping it back to them. So, because the racket will come out of your hand with some of these people, the way they serve. So that's why you see a lot of the top players play with two hands. Even Federer, I mean, they all hold the racket with both hands, before they let go of it. Even on a one-hander, you're still holding it back to spring into the ball, So tennis is like art. It's like you're the artist. You develop your own style of play. You have fun with it. Just like surfing, everybody surfs differently. Everybody has their own style when they're riding the wave. Some people like to get inside. It's called tube riding. They get inside the wave. Some people like to do bottom turns and go off the top of the whitewash and do floaters. And it all depends how you feel and how the wave is developing. Well, it's the same thing in tennis. It's how the shot's developing. It's what kind of player you're playing against. And then, you have control of how you're serving the ball. So even if you're playing a pusher, you really shouldn't allow the pusher to dictate how you're serving. You're supposed to be, if you're out here practicing, you should be able to put the ball in places where this guy, you should be able to get free aces, and free points on your serve. And that's why I'm out here too, because like you're being disabled a little bit. I have to get as many free shots and free points as I can possibly get. And one of those ways is the way I serve, and then the other way is the way I return. So if you have a good returner serve and a good serve, you're gonna win a lot more matches, or put a lot of pressure on these top players that you're playing against. So, and they won't want to, it won't be easy for them to win. So just come out, have fun, practice, do your best, and don't worry about it if you're starting a new channel and stuff like that. A lot of people on these big channels, they're all involved in Freemasonry. It's all a clique. They're all connected to each other. Even a tennis community, nobody's blowing up, with these big channels like this in 2 and 3 years, having tens of thousands of subscribers. Sometimes they buy subscriptions. And they got sponsors and stuff. It's not what you see, it's what you don't see. And sometimes the stuff that they do, they still will tell you who they are by the symbolisms and mannerisms of what they're doing. So it's not they can't help themselves. So I don't take none of this. They're like, you should have more, more subscribers. Have people email me, and I'm like, no, I'm not on here for that. I'm on here to develop as a person and develop as a player and teach what I can teach and learn what I can learn and become a tennis player, because right now I'm just a person who plays tennis. I'm not a tennis player because I don't know everything there is to know about tennis at that level to become a tennis player. So I'm learning to become a tennis player. But right now I'm a person who plays tennis, and I'm not too bad at it right now. I'm getting better, but there's always someone better. There's always someone faster. There's always someone smarter, quicker. But that's what makes this game so awesome. You meet those kind of people, and you know, once in a while you can beat them, and it's a good feeling. And also you learn a lot from playing people that are better than you. So, or even sometimes you learn a lot. I learn a lot from everybody I play against. So it's really not the level of play. It's how you observe what's going on. So I appreciate everybody watching. I'm gonna get out of here. It's hot, and this dude's gonna shut these lights out, and it'll be pitch dark out here. So have a good night. Thanks for the support, and thanks for all your nice comments and things. I appreciate everything. I'm working real hard for everybody, and like I said, when I get my rackets, because I borrowed this, I think I'm gonna get a lot better, and I'm gonna improve a lot more with accuracy and playing and stuff, because I just like playing with a heavier racket, and that's why I was playing with those profiles for a long time, because it's a heavier racket, it's sturdy, and I have confidence in it. Like, I have confidence on my return serves, I have confidence in my serve. Right now I'm getting confidence in this racket, but my friend just got strings from, he doesn't really know much about that type of stuff. He just picks up a racket, and he's a good player too. So I think when I was, when I was showing him the strings I had in my other racket, he's like, wow, I can hit better. I was like, yeah, because the strings are actually better. The better the strings, the better racket, the better you'll play, the more the ball will stay on the racket, and the more control you'll have over the tennis ball. That's why these people use all these different strings. That's why they try all these different rackets. And you see all the pros changing rackets, because you want the ball to stay on the strings as long as possible. That's how you get more control of everything. So thanks a lot, everybody. We'll have a good night, and we'll see you soon.